So Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., who's the chairman of the Black Panther Party Cubs, they're doing a lot of work in the community, doing a lot of work on the home to turn it into a museum for educational and empowerment purposes for the community of Maywood. Right on, free 'em all, and beyond. You see they have the community gardens, they have the community fridge that we're now opening up. This is going to be the Hampton Home Community Fridge, the first community
This
fridge
documentary
in Maywood,
short takes
Illinois.
us to Illinois and
extremely
reveals
important
a
because food
community
insecurity-
initiative to fight food insecurity, notably in Maywood, Illinois. People in the community create the first community fridge to provide free fresh produce, which is quite scarce in that area and very expensive. It was interesting hearing about the legacy of Chairman Fred Hampton and his successful breakfast program. And the interviews by the professionals about the importance of proper nutrition were very interesting as well. Loved the scenes of the cooking classes and the interviews of people opening up new stores in the area selling healthy food. Great job.
I thought this one was a really great documentary piece. Smart, it's topical, it's just an important issue. It draws you in right away with just some, hard facts, and really then just explores the situation across these communities, and really does open your eyes if it's not something you're kind of already aware of. But I mean, to a lot of us, I think we just take certain things for granted too. Having good local produce really is important, and I think it's something that should be afforded to everyone. So for that reason alone, I'm glad this piece exists, just to maybe help bring more awareness to it. And all in all, it's just a strong piece worth checking out.
It was a phenomenal documentary that really honors the memory of Mr. Hampton and the work that he did for his community. And it's great to see that his son is helping to continue that work. The subject of food insecurity is very well and intelligently explored throughout this documentary, as we see how it affects Chicago and why, and people's relationships and attitudes towards food. It was particularly interesting to see how the pandemic, of course, had some influence on food insecurity, but the best part of it all is seeing the community's response, having these resources made available so that people do not go hungry and have consistent access to food, especially, of course, children and the elderly.
Piece about food scarcity and food deserts and how they impact communities, and mainly communities of color, and how people are combating it. I think it was really informative. It showed all the different ways that, these communities are coming together to, to fight for each other, and to feed their children and to feed the community. And, the Black Panther Party started out as a free breakfast program, and, introducing that and introducing cooking classes, and the importance of nutrition and these things that aren't going to be taught in public schools growing up, of just, how to fend for yourself, and how kids in these communities can take care of themselves and give themselves a future through food, and, how everything kind of centers around that. I think it was a really informative documentary. You had so many different sources coming in to not only show what they're doing for the community, but to inform the viewer of the matter at hand, and almost how they can identify it in their community and help out as well. So it was a very informative piece, and I really enjoyed it.
Really fantastic. I really liked how this was done, because it was really informative. It wasn't just about what the particular project was. It wasn't just about what the, community, fridge was, or what the legacy was even. It was really explaining the need for it, and how the situation like that arises, like what a food desert is, and what food insecurity is, and really went into depth about it and describing it from like multiple points of view and how different things could be of assistance and different things help. And it's not just about, you know, one community fridge or anything like that. It's about doing all of these different things, having small businesses, having vegan restaurants, like having all these different opportunities that all help. And it's like almost a stopgap while policy changes need to happen. It was really informative, but they did it in a really compelling but thorough way.
I didn't know much about food deserts or food insecurity prior to watching, and I learned a lot about how not having adequate food and nutritious food can affect people's health, and I love seeing that community come together to create solutions where there wasn't a lot of helping food options or going to get food was challenging. So it was really uplifting and really informative.
It's definitely something I didn't learn until very recently in my life, but it is something I feel like a lot of people can relate to if you're not financially stable. Sometimes you do have an issue of wondering what the situation for food is going to be. Growing up, I've definitely faced an issue of the fact that, yes, it's important to eat healthy. However, healthy food is expensive. And that's been a common problem that I feel a lot of people face. What I find very interesting about Feed 'em All is not only does it tackle the topic and issue of food insecurity in low-income environments, it also addresses the issue of food insecurity during a global pandemic, which I think is a very unique but very important spin on this, because we're like, COVID-19 shook the world to its core. However, one of the most important things that we also have to acknowledge is that just because we're in a pandemic, all of the problems from before the pandemic didn't just magically go away. They're still there, and they definitely need to be discussed.